Welcome back to Sideline on Section 105 Media Network, your ultimate podcast destination for everything Las Vegas Raiders. From breaking news and in-depth analysis to player interviews and game breakdowns, we've got you covered from one end of the field to the other. Join us as we deep dive into Raider Nation, exploring the highs, lows, and everything in between, whether you're a lifelong fan or new to the silver and black. Sideline to Sideline is your go-to source for all things Raiders. I'm your host, Raider Will, and I'm here with my brother, Douglas Sheffield, a.k.a. Raider Homer. In this episode, we are going to explore through the Raiders' 2024 offseason. Let's go, Raiders!
What a great introduction to the channel, Will. Man, this is going to be exciting this year. Breaking down footage, covering the Raiders sideline to sideline, and as you said, also deep dives into the Raider Nation, man. But this episode right here, coming back for the first time since last year, man, is going to be a banger, I believe, man. Trying out new things together, learning from each other, man. Raider Nation, buckle up because we're only going to get better, and we're going to bring you continuous Raider content from the Raider Nation for the Raider Nation.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, Raider Nation, y'all better just, buckle up, snap in, and let's go. Because I'm telling you right now, we got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to catch you up on. Like Doug said, we're going to have a lot of deep dives, a lot of stuff. But for today's episode, guys, what we're going to talk about is the key offseason signings that we've had before the draft. Then we have the draft. We have our season. We have contracts, extensions, and the possibility of free agent pickups as of June 1st when we get that extra money, baby. So, guys, stay locked in for this episode because I'm telling you guys, this is a not to miss one.
Well, let's get going.
Yes, sir. Hey, guys. So, the first thing we're going to break into is key season signings. Doug, we've talked about this, that it was crucial for us to get key personnel to help us out. And the first key signing we had was a monster in the middle, baby. Christian Wilkins from Miami, baby. Got a full 6'4", 310 pounds of pure bad mamma jamma.
Oh, yeah, man. We've been needing that defensive presence in the middle for a long time, man. And, a great thing about him is he moves around on the line as well. So that's going to help Max Crosby and the rest of the defensive line so much. But you know what? It's also going to help the linebacking core, man. If the guys on the defensive line are eating up the blocks, man, those linebackers are going to run free, and Splain's going to have a better year, I would think, man. So I'm looking forward to this breakdown of Christian Wilkins, man, because that is a big signing.
Absolutely, brother. And when we talk about getting a guy that is taking pressure off Max, you're talking about an interior lineman that just came off having a 9-sack season. So bringing in another Mac Daddy like that, that's going to give Max, Tyree, Malcolm Coots, I'll be like, we got the 4 horsemen up there for Raider Nation. So guys, stay tuned for that breakdown.
Here comes the apocalypse of the AFC West, led by the Raiders.
Yes, sir. Here we got Christian Wilkins, Week 6 versus the Carolina Panthers in the third quarter with 12:18 left on the clock. It's 3rd and 6, and they are on the 45-yard line of the Panthers. He rips through the A-gap. As you can see here, Bryce Young is then sacked for a 9-yard sack. Here we got Christian Wilkins from a different angle. Sets up. As we can see, he's attacking that A-gap. Here he rips through, keeping leverage, keeping pad underneath pad. And Bryce Young is just mincemeat, baby. And guys, in that play, we got Christian Wilkins absolutely destroying that center, guys. As you guys can see, he keeps great leverage. He keeps low pad level, strikes through, hooks the center's arm, and rips through for that amazing sack on a mobile Bryce Young. Guys, that's what we are getting with Wilkerson, a guy that can bring that interior pressure quickly, effectively, and will absolutely eat up a quarterback for lunch. Doug, what are your thoughts on that play, my brother?
It's exactly what we need, bro. We need somebody else to put pressure on Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and the other quarterbacks in this division from the middle, man. We've been missing that a middle defender for a long time, man. Now we got that middle linebacker that is decent in pass coverage, a great run guy, a run stopper. So this defensive line, Christian Wilkinson, with the pressure up the middle, is going to be important, man. I'm super excited about it, man. It's something that, like I said, we've needed for a long time.
Week 6 versus the Carolina Panthers. It's the fourth quarter, 11 minutes and 50 seconds left. It's 1st and 10, and Carolina's on the 36-yard. Okay, so we got Christian Wilkins lined up here at defensive end. He attacks his gap, that backside B gap there, and we see a total miscommunication by the offensive line, and Bryce Young is sacked for a 10-yard loss. Here we got another angle. As you guys can see, yep, he's highlighted. He's about to attack that B gap. He accelerates, basically untouched. We can see that there's a miscommunication between the offensive line, and Christian Wilkins takes absolute advantage and eats up Bryce Young for a 10-yard loss. Here we got Christian Wilkins lining up at defensive end and taking advantage of a miscommunication on that protection. You can obviously tell that the defensive tackle takes a step. He thinks he has inside help. But because Christian Wilkins attacks so fiercely and so quickly, he's not even able to react. He takes one step outside. Christian Wilkins hits that gap viciously and eats up Bryce Young for a 10-yard sack, which is, that's what we need. Look at that flexibility, playing inside, outside. We cannot plan on how to defend this guy. This is another added piece because we got Tyree Wilson, we got Kuntz, you got Max Crosby. All these guys can play multiple positions. And as Doug was saying, man, we're bringing Black Death. I'll be like, when we talk about the misfit crew up front, man, with guys that can play multiple positions, Tyree playing inside, outside. Guys, it's very difficult to plan for an offensive line and say, who are we going to double team? Where are we going to slide to? You can't really dictate that. That's what makes this move so exciting as well. Doug, thoughts on that?
You hit the nail right on the head, dude. How do you plan to defend against or to block this defensive line, man? You got Max Crosby jumping around. You got Christian Wilkins jumping around. You can't really game plan for it. And it's going to be, play by play, and it's going to just open up the flood lanes for the defense, man. We need those turnovers. A great defensive line, putting pressure on the quarterback is what leads to turnovers in the backfield. And, that's what we've been missing, too, as a defense. Forcing those kind of game-changing plays with the defense, getting that short yardage. We got an offense that, is questionable right now. So if our defensive line can get the sacks and the pressure on the opposing quarterbacks and force turnovers and put us in a short yardage situation, it's going to help our offense score tremendously. Coach AP wants 24 points. Well, that's where it's going to start, is the defense giving the offense a short yardage situation to get into the end zone. So I think that it's a very important signing, man, and I'm excited about it. And that kind of just covers a little bit of the defense. I know we wanted to do some more, but hey, Raider Nation, hang tight. We'll get more and more information out as we go. But right now, on the offensive side of the ball, I'm excited about the Minshew signing, bro. So let's kind of take a look at one of his best plays against us from last year.
Here we got Gardner Minshew with the Colts. It's the second quarter, 4 minutes left, 3rd and 1, and they are up 13-3. And this is a reason why we believe that Gardner Minshew is going to be a great addition to the Raiders using the long ball. You see him go drop back into play action. Guys, this is an all-out blitz by the Raiders. You can tell it's man-to-man. He identifies, looks the blitz straight up in the face, and throws an absolute dime to Alex Pierce for a 58-yard touchdown where they beat Amik Robinson. And here we got another view. We got Gardner Minshew in the new center. Takes the snap, play action. Right here, guys, you can see you got Spillane barreling down. We got another defender coming off that edge. Minshew steps up in the pocket, looks the face of danger, and throws an absolute dime to Alex Pierce for a Colts touchdown, beating Amik Robertson. Guys, and in that play, what you see is what Gardner Minshew brings to the Raiders, okay? The ability to use play action, okay? Step up into the pocket and throw an absolute dime down the field in the face of pressure. You see him there, goes play action, steps back, sees Spillane right in front of him, Hobbs coming off that edge, but he's able to identify that it's man to man. And he identifies Alex Pierce right in the middle of the field, one-on-one with Robertson, and he absolutely throws a dime for a 58-yard touchdown. Doug, there's not very many guys that will do that. Move around in the pocket, step up in the face of pressure, and not only step up in the face of pressure, but take an absolute shot. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's exactly what we need as a team. We need that quarterback that has that pride and poise, especially the poise part, under pressure in the pocket and delivering strikes down the field. You know, Al Davis loved going deep, and so that we need that deep ball. Now, Aiden O'Connell, he has a good deep ball too, and he's accurate, and it is still his job to lose. But Minshew has been around a lot longer, man, and he's not scared to throw the ball. We know that, so I'm excited about this signing because if AOC doesn't quite work out, we know that we can put a gunslinger in there that's not afraid to help us win and is capable of helping us win. So it's a great signing. You know, they beat us. They beat us fair and square. And so when you can get somebody like that was able to beat our defense, right? Our top 10 defense, bringing him on the team is just, it's a plus. It's a positive. It's everything that we need, and hopefully it all works out.
No, absolutely, Doug, because you're bringing this guy at $15 million over 2 years. At $7.5 million, man, you're bringing in a quality backup. You're at like $8 million or something like that, or $9 million with him and Aiden O'Connell sitting at the quarterback position. Man, this is a quality signing, Raiders. We got to look into stuff. Stop being mad. Let's go.
Let's go.
Raiders season schedule, baby. According to the Boston Herald's Bill Sparrows, the Raiders will travel 23,345 miles, the seventh most in the league, the fourth most in the AFC, and the second most in the AFC West, behind only the Los Angeles Chargers that travel the most, 26,803 in the NFL.
You know, it's no surprise that the Raiders are traveling like that, you know, only behind the Chargers, of course, but every year we seem to get a tough schedule traveling, you know, wise and team-wise. I believe that this schedule, there's a lot of former playoff teams from last year in there. Of course, we're in the AFC West with the Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions, man, so it's always a tough schedule when you think about the AFC West. And I just, you know, this year I'm hoping that, you know, we start out strong, right? That's what it is. You know, you got to win, you know, 2 or 3 games coming out of the gate, man, to get ahead in this league. Because after that, you know, after the first month, a lot of bodies are beat up. A lot of players get hurt. So we got to have that little bit of a cushion starting out.
You're absolutely right. We need that cushion. We need to get out quickly. We need to attack the guys. We need to make sure that we are out in front. Now, with this schedule, it's a tough schedule, guys. We got the AFC North, which had 3 playoff teams last year. We got the AFC West, which we already know, hey, it's a workhorse league or workhorse conference or, you know, division. So then we also have to look at all of our opponents, okay? So then we go down week 1, Doug. Week 1, we got a home game away from home. We go down to SoFi. We play the Chargers. The Chargers have Justin Herbert. Yeah, they've lost a lot of key pieces. And I know that they added Harbaugh. So, of course, a lot of people are saying, hey, you know what? This team is a force to be reckoned with because Harbaugh is known for turning around programs and making them better. So, on the Chargers, man, it's really going to be a home game away from home. I know that we'll have people out there. I know that Raider Nation is going to be representing, but that's going to be one tough game.
I mean, yeah, they're always going to be tough whenever we're playing AFC West teams. And yeah, that is kind of concerning because you don't know what Harbaugh is going to be able to do. He does have a track record with turning teams around now. He does have some issues and went back to college and all that. But now he's coming back, and so it is concerning, man. There's so much uncertainty with our team, especially on the offense, But if our defense can come in and clamp down on these AFC West high-powered, high-octane offenses, we should be set. But, I mean, we got to go in to L.A. and get that win because the Ravens after that, man, that's going to be even more tough.
No, absolutely. So then we travel all the way across the country. Of course, we said, hey, we're traveling a lot this season. So we go to Baltimore. We play the other Harbaugh brother who has another snobber locker defense. These guys are tough. Baltimore in Baltimore. Week 2 is a tough game on the road. I know that Raider Nation will be out there representing because I know that the Northwest Virginia and all that have stuff going on. But to go into M-Bank Stadium and get a win, that's going to be a tough one, Doug. I mean, especially on the road, you're playing a team that's always known for being in the playoffs, a team that is always good, and a team that drafts well. So, I mean, going into Baltimore and trying to get that win, what are your thoughts?
I mean, we'll be going against another Harbaugh. This is a Harbaugh that, has been around for a long time, and they've just been consistent. This is exactly what I want our team to become, is consistent. It's concerning. This game is concerning. They did sign Derrick Henry, and so get ready for a heavy dose of Derrick Henry. But if our defense can keep that offense in check, we should have a shot. We beat them on that Monday night game. Of course, that was a couple years ago. But it's going to be a tough game. Tough game.
No, absolutely. And what you said was absolutely correct. The ground and pound is going to be an essential part of Baltimore's offense. There's a reason that they got physical guys at the running back position. That's the way that they're built. They're built defensively. I mean, like ever since the Ravens were in 2001, they've just been building that way. So then after that, we go all the way across the country for the hot ticket because we're going to be at the home opener, baby, versus the Carolina Panthers. We're going to take on Bryce Young at Allegiant Stadium for our home opener again in week 3, Doug. This is the second year in a row the NFL has done this to us. Week 3, we go home. We're home opener. We play the Panthers. This should be a gimme. I'd be like, if we don't absolutely destroy the Panthers, we have to really reassess what we're doing in week 3. Doug?
Yeah, facing the Chargers and the Ravens the first 2 weeks. If we can come out of that 1-1, we're in good shape to go 2-1 because that is the home opener, and we've been doing well in the home openers for the last few years. So this is a must-win right here. This is the first must-win, right? Because then we'll be 2-1. The home opener, Raider Nation excited. All the buzz will start coming back around, and because the fan base does energize the team. So if Raider Nation's into it, then we're gonna give this team a jolt of energy and show that we're still there for them. So this is an important game for both the team and the fans. So hopefully we go in there, or they come in and we send them home with the loss.
No, absolutely. And you know what, Doug? You just said it. Raider Nation, we're calling you out. We're saying be at the home game, be there, don't sell your ticket, be a Raiders fan, represent the team. Let's energize our people for the first home game. Be there. Let's make it electric, baby. Then we come back week 4 at home versus the Cleveland Browns. This is another team, Doug, that is a playoff team from last year. Cleveland is a no-joke defense. Guys, they have weapons all over the field. The way that they have remade that team is absolutely amazing. This team is fully loaded. They're going to run the rock. They're going to make sure that, hey, they got Amari Cooper on the outside. They got other weapons that are going to try to take advantage of our shortcomings. But, guys, this is another game that we can win. This is a game that we can fight, and we are really going to see within these first couple of games how we are against playoff teams from last year, Doug. I mean, like, if you look at it, where 50% of the teams that we're playing are in the playoffs. And if we're competitive in those two games, that could be a mention of the, hey, upward turn spike that we need. What do you think about that, brother?
I think it is a must win. This 2 games at home, back to back, after the 2 games on the road, we need these 2 wins, okay? First of all, of course, you got to win on the road to get into the playoffs. But, man, you have to defend home field. And, like you said, Raider Nation's been selling those tickets, so the opposing fans have been coming in. We've lost a lot of games at home since we've been in Vegas, man. So this team has to turn it around at home. Become dominant at home. Quit letting these fans come in. Quit letting these teams come in and take our shine away from us. We need these wins at home. And if we can do that, then we're well on our way to going to the playoffs, I would think. But it depends on how we start off early this year. I don't want to just start throwing around playoffs. Well, let's wait and see. But, if we could start out in the first 4 weeks at 3-1, I think we got a real good shot to go to the playoffs.
No, absolutely. And like you said, we're not going to be talking about playoffs, but it's something that is very important. We have to defend the home turf. Both our fans and our players have to be there and be with pride and poise and make sure that we defend Allegiant Stadium. Every blade of grass, baby. So then week 5, we travel up to the Mile High City and we take on the Donkeys, baby. And you know what, Doug? We're going to be there live and we're going to be there large and in charge, baby. So, hey, we go to Mile High. Doug, ever since we've been the Las Vegas Raiders, the Broncos ain't even seen us. This is another game that I believe is a must win, especially early in the season, with that team being in so much turmoil. I'd be like, they got Zach Wilson, and, his mom at quarterback, I guess. They got Bo Nix that they drafted, and we know that drafting him at 12, a lot of people are saying, hey, man, that draft pick was way too high for him. So, and they lose Justin Simmons, which is a key piece on their defense. What's your thoughts about us going to the Mile High City and taking this win, baby?
Well, I must say, I feel like the Broncos took Bo Nix just to make sure that he didn't come to the Raiders. You know what I mean? They already had a quarterback. Everybody was scratching their heads why they did that. They did it just so he didn't come to the Raiders. So, F the Broncos, man. I'm looking, as far as road games, this is the one I'm looking forward to the most. I live in Colorado, man, and I cannot stand these Donkey fans. So I hope we continue this win streak against them and dominate these guys early on. Make a statement. This should be the game that we come out and we dominate. You know what I mean? That would be awesome. And I'm looking forward to this game a lot because Section 105 Media Network will be broadcasting from the 5280 before the game, and then we're going to broadcast from the tailgate before the game as well, but at the stadium. So, of course, right? But I'm looking forward to this game a lot, man, because this is good for the channel, and this is good for the Raiders.
Yes, sir. Can't wait. Then we go week 6 back home to Allegiant, where we take on the Bumblebees from Pittsburgh, baby. Hey, last year, this was a tough game to swallow. This was a game that I believe we should have won. Marcus Peters drops that pick 6 in that game. And this is another thing why we got rid of that. We got rid of guys that can't play that way. But again, this is another game we can win. Another team in turmoil. They bring in 2 quarterbacks. They bring in freaking Justin Fields, who we thought was going to come to the Raiders at one point. And then they bring in Pretty Boy Russ. Hey, I guess Pittsburgh wants to get dangerous. But last year, we owned Russ. So this is a game I believe that we can win. Yes, Pittsburgh is a tough team. They are a playoff team. Another one. I keep saying this. Playoff team. In the first 6 games, guys, we're looking at a lot of quality opponents. So if we come up on top, like you were saying, and we're winning, against these quality opponents, it looks like we'll be on the fast track to the P word. I'm not going to say it. But, Doug, we go to Allegiant, we take on the Steelers. What do you think we need to do there?
I mean, this is where AP is going to have to make his mark, right? Mike Tomlin has been around for a long time, like John Harbaugh, right? John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, these are the coaches that we want AP to become, right? But for us, we want that longevity. We want that consistent winning. Because, look, the Steelers were our rival outside of the AFC West for the longest time. But here lately, it's been a little lopsided, right? They've been winning. We haven't, man. So I would like to see this team turn it around and get wins against old rivals like this that have, consistent winning programs. That way we start to elevate our mindset as a team as far as being winners, man, by knocking off these teams that have been doing well for so long, man. So this could be an important win for us if we could just make a statement also in this game.
And then we travel to another home game at SoFi. We play the Rams. Guys, this is another game that this year has to be a win. The Rams are in total rebuild mode. They lost their guy in the middle. They don't have the weapons that they used to have. And they're just not as potent, not the team that they used to be. And again, Raider Nation travels well to SoFi. This is another part of us as the fan base electrifying our players on the road and giving them enough juice to win on the road. And I believe this game is going to be tight. But I'm telling you right now, if we show up as Raider Nation, and like you said, the AP era is in, of his tough mentality of football, this is another game that, to me, in my book, is going to be a win. Because you can go there and impose your will on that defense. So, Doug, when we go to SoFi and play the Rams, what do you think we have to do to get that dub?
I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I think, like you just said, this is like a fan game, right? The Raider Nation can take over this game and energize the team, in LA and help this team win, man. It's important, right? For the fan base is huge to this team, right? Especially when you can go and change the atmosphere in another stadium like in LA. That's 3 games this year that we as a fan base should be able to make an impact on and give our chances as a team win, you know what I mean? So I don't want to just say we're going to win everything, and you know what I mean? But this is a game where, we as a fan base really need to show up and try to support the team and give our team a chance to win.
I agree. Then we go back home and we take on Kermit Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Man, this is going to be a whopper of a game. I'm telling you right now, people, mark your game down on that, or mark your calendar for that game. Man, this is a game that I think the referees are going to play a vital part because, we've been calling them the, Jordan rules for Patrick Mahomes, where we're bringing that extra level of physicality. But, Doug, we need to bring that extra level of physicality to be able to contain players like that. Whether the NFL likes it or not, there are rules. When we are playing by the rules, within the rules, and then being told, hey, you know what, that extra physicality is not okay, I'm looking at it and saying, hey, man, you know what? This is what this game is built off of. We are built on being physical, on being intimidating. That's why you play defense. You don't have the ball, you're chasing the ball. So you have to do certain things in order to contain players like Patrick Mahomes. And it's not playing dirty, it's playing till the whistle blows and being physical. Now, this game is a crucial game. It's an in-division game. The Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions. So this is a statement game. And it's at home. Doug, what are your thoughts on this game?
Again, you hit the nail right on the head, dude. I think this game is important, right? as you said, to make a statement because we last year we beat them at in Arrowhead, right? So we want to bring that momentum back home, right, and beat them at home, man, because don't forget the Chiefs won the Super Bowl on our field and took the Chiefs flag and put it in the middle of the field. Man, stop that. The Raiders have to stop that from happening again. You want to dominate this team at home. If we're going to become a Super Bowl contender, we are going to have to beat this team, and we need to beat them at home. So I hope we get this win, man. I hope the defense is pissed that they were able to win the Super Bowl on our field and comes back and punches them in the mouth like they did in Arrowhead last year at home.
No, absolutely. And I hope we take that chip on the shoulder and we take it to Cincinnati in week 9. Because we got smoking Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, baby. Hey, that team is another playoff team. Guys, there's something consistent that I keep saying against the Raiders' schedule. Playoff team. So these means that these guys are top quality opponents. Guys, Cincinnati comes with smoking Joe Burrow. We're playing them in their home field. We know they're potent. They've lost Joe Mix, but they still got Chase. They got Chase outside. They got other players that can make big plays. What are your thoughts about going up to Cincinnati and trying to steal a win?
You know what? I don't want to steal it. I want to take it in this one, all right? I have hated the Bengals since Bo Jackson got hurt in that playoff game, man. And I just can't stand this team, man. I don't want to wish anybody to get injured, but my feelings would not be hurt if we returned the favor and Joe Burrow was no longer, or Joe Burrow became that what if. Like Bo did, man. This is a game that I can't stand, man. I hate this team, so hopefully we get this win. But, I don't – I'm not – like I said, I don't want to just start throwing out wins and losses right now. I mean, the main thing is, just we need to be able to win consistently and make statements in games like this. Yes, they were a playoff game, but this is not the Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said, if we want to be able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs, we need to smack around teams like the Bengals and the Browns that got to the playoffs, but they aren't necessarily on the level of the Chiefs. So this is a game we should win, but it's in November. It's early enough, may not snow, hopefully. But we'll see what happens, right? Because the Raiders historically have not played well in inclement weather, so we'll see.
And that's another key point you just brought up. Inclement weather games. It's a November the 3rd game, so it's an early game. But we'll see what happens. And you're absolutely right, Doug. We need to absolutely dominate the teams that are not at that level, which is the Super Bowl level. Now, we go into week 10. Bye week. And I think that is a crucial part of this season is getting a bye week in week 10, Doug. It's right in the middle of the year. I'll be like, you can really see your horses getting healthy. You could be like, hey, man, let's assess. Where are we? What do we need to do? It's a really perfect bye week this year.
Yeah, right in the middle of the season after week 9, if we could be right around 5-4, 4-5, whatever, and get this bye week, we could heal up, and get ready to kick off the second half of the season and, really make a push towards the playoffs. But again, in the first half of the schedule, man, we need to take wins from Cincinnati. We need to take wins home from Los Angeles. We need to beat the Broncos and the Panthers and the Browns. We need to beat those teams to get to week 10, to get that rest. Because right around then, bro, with the new offense and new offensive coordinator, that's when we should start to gel. So if we're 5-4, 4-5, we're in perfect position to heal up and start the next half of the schedule and finish off the season strong.
Absolutely. And as we start the second half of the season right after the bye week, we got another hot ticket. Guys, you guys got to get down to Miami. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on down there for Raider Nation. Plus, a lot of sun. I mean, we're talking Miami in Miami. We're bringing back Big Daddy Christian Wilkins, so that way we could give it back to Miami. Guys, we had a great game. Nate Hobbs had a great game against Miami last year. And this is going to be another key game. They got Tua Vailunga. They got Tyreek Hill. They got a lot of weapons on offense. Their question mark is always on defense because McDaniels has always been questionable. Now, this is a game, just like Doug said. We need to see what's going on with the offense. Are they gelling? Are we finally starting to turn the corner to see, hey, are we still going to be that defensive juggernaut that can't score points? Or are we going to be that team that is efficient on offense and highly efficient on defense? So, Doug, game in Miami. Thoughts?
I mean, we just talked about inclement weather, right? This is still the middle of November, but we're going to be in Miami, so that's a good position for us to be in. So we're not playing in the snow. We can start out strong in the second half. Of course, Tyreek Hill has killed us for the longest time, but like you said, we got Wilkins coming up the middle now. She'll put some pressure on Tua. This is, if at this point in the season, if we're neck and neck with the Miami Dolphins, then we're in good shape. If like I said, if we're 5-4 and we're competing against teams like the Dolphins and we could get the win like that, it's a good thing for us. It's a good sign. But I think the most important part, especially in the second half of the schedule, is that we're not in a whole lot of inclement weather situations. So this is a good setup and a good way to start off the second half of the schedule.
No, and you're absolutely right. And you brought up a good point that Miami, while it's not inclement, it's hot weather. So guys need to stay hydrated. Guys need to know how to take care of their body. So that's going to be something that's going to be highly important for that game. Now, after that, we travel back home and we got Denver at home, baby. Another game that we have to defend every blade of grass. This is an in division game, in conference game. Everything is important here. This is going to be a game that's going to have some playoff implications, I'm sure. So we got to come back home to Denver. We're going to play Bo Nix or, Zach Wilson or whoever it is. We got to come home and get this win, Doug. I know that, hey, we're not talking wins, losses, but this is another key game that can potentially lead us to that P word that I'm not saying. So, Doug, thoughts on Denver at home?
Again, man, we need to protect home field. All right, but the thing is, man, is we've been so dominant with Denver. This is kind of like a trap game, I would think. Like let's say we're in good position, win losses coming into the bye week, coming out of the bye week, we beat Miami, and we're feeling confident. We're a couple of games over 500 or whatever. This Bronco game could be a trap game. You know what I mean? So that's a little leery. We're not going to continue to beat the Broncos every single game. So this could, like I said, be the trap game. And so watch out for that, I would say.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. You never want to get caught on these teams that you think that you have been just dominating and then just fall asleep. Now, week 13, we're talking about inclement weather games. We travel to Kansas City November 29th. We go to Arrowhead. We already know it's going to be hostile. You got to be mobile. You got to be ready to go. Guys, the weather there is a crapshoot. You never know what you're going to get. So, this is a tough game. Another in-division, in-conference game. And we already know that the Super Bowl is probably going to go through Kansas City for the AFC. So, Doug, thoughts on this game at Kansas City?
I don't like our chances in this game, right? We've struggled in Arrowhead for a long time. And now we're getting, further and further into the fall. So this could be a game that we very well lose. I don't see the Chiefs allowing us to come back and beat them at Arrowhead again. They were kind of salty, and they were saying that, oh, well, that was their Super Bowl and all this and that. So it'd be nice to go into Kansas City and spank them again. But this could be in a position or at the point of the season where Kansas City's fighting or trying to get ahead and as far as playoff positioning. So this is going to be a tough game, man. And I really don't like our chances.
No, absolutely. Then after that, Doug, talking about a tough schedule, back-to-back road games. We go to Tampa Bay. This is guys. This is going to be a tough game. These guys are going to be away from home, or if they travel back and forth, traveling a ton, and doing back to back games on the East Coast. We know how West Coast teams struggle going to the East Coast and playing the early game. And this is a 10 a.m. game, Doug. So Tampa Bay isn't a slouch either. That's how I'm going to Tampa Bay and having back to back road games and then going out to the East Coast and playing at 10 a.m. How do we do this? What are your thoughts on this game against Tampa?
Our team is going to have to be in great condition. So conditioning is important, especially traveling on the roads, second highest amount of miles in the league, so this is a tough one, but I hate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They took that Super Bowl from us with John Gruden celebrating on the sidelines. That broke my heart, man. So anytime we play the Buccaneers, I want to be able to win. Again, though, the one thing that kind of gives us a chance is the fact that it could be warm over there, or at least not snowing and in a bunch of inclement weather. So, I'm just hoping we go in there and dominate. Because like I said, some of these games we're going to have to take to get into the P word, right? But this could be one that we take. We shouldn't lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? Especially if we're competing against the Chiefs, in close games and hopefully winning, splitting with them at least. We teams like Tampa, we got to be able to beat.
No, absolutely. And you know what, Doug? They also say something travels well is defense. Defense travels well. So defense is going to have to play lights out for those 2 weeks. Then we go to week 15 and we're back home taking on those Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins or Michael Penix will be at quarterback. We all know the whole Michael Penix hype that was, done. And you know what? Atlanta took him at 8. This is going to be, I believe, a Thursday night or a Monday night game. Primetime game. This is a must win. Now, Doug, I know that we're not talking wins, losses, anything like that. But right now, I just don't feel like Atlanta is at the top of their game. And I believe that this right now, at this moment, in this time, we need to get this win in order for us to be into that playoff hunt. So, Doug, what are your thoughts on this game playing Atlanta at home on Monday night, primetime game?
I mean, we used to be the kings of Monday night, right? It would be nice to get back into that form, that dive back into that history, reach into that bag and pull that out, man, and get a win on Monday night. That'd be great. As you said, the Falcons, they didn't really improve all that much, but Kirk Cousins is a threat, so it's not a given win. But man, like I've been saying, we have to beat teams like this if we're gonna become consistent winners.
Then we play week 16 at home versus Sunshine Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars come to Allegiant Stadium. This is another game that's in conference that we need to make a statement. Guys, the Jacksonville Jaguars are a solid team. We need to go in there and make sure that defensively we make a statement, and offensively we're pounding the rock. It's week 16. There's 2 things that we talk about when it comes to the P word. Teams that make it there can run the football and play really good defense. So this is a key game for us to see how well we're doing in those 2 things. Doug, thoughts on the game against Jacksonville?
Well, I mean, week 16, right? You got this game plus 2 more to go, and 2 out of the 3 are at home. Like I said, it's key to win at home. This could be the start of the playoff push, and we would have to win at home. Trevor Lawrence, though, man, he's young. He can move. He's a good quarterback, but we got that great defense. This is going to be a test for our defense, right? If we're going to make the playoffs, the defense is going to have to win games, so they're going to have to shut down the Jacksonville Jaguars. Because that's not necessarily a given win. It's going to be a tough team. This is a team that's kind of like us. They're young and they're trying to build. So this one I'm a little worried about.
Then week 17, we get the opportunity to give DC the only quarterback to lose against all 32 teams. We go down to New Orleans. I'll be there live, baby. Man, we go to the Superdome, Louisiana. We play DC. That's going to be another tough game. I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of ex-Raiders on that team that want to get that win. That they want to say, hey, you guys made a mistake by letting us go. And you know how that is when you want to take revenge out. Now, another tough game, Doug. Going down to the Louisiana the Superdome is not easy. So, thoughts on this game in New Orleans for the 29th of December?
We've been talking about how fans can impact the game. Well, the New Orleans Saint fans impact games. So this is going to be a tough one to win in that dome. Yeah, especially with Derek Carr and Jonathan Abrams trying to make a mark and show the Raiders that they shouldn't have let him go. But this is going to surprise a lot of people, what I'm going to say, because I was a huge Derek Carr supporter, and I still like the guy. Once a Raider, always a Raider. He crushed the Raiders' record books as a quarterback. He's one of my favorite Raiders of all time. But I think, man, signing Christian Wilkins and having Max Crosby and Kuntz and Splain and some a really good defense, I think our defense is going to shut down Derek Carr. We looked at the play with Minshew. Minshew in the face could throw of a rush, can throw a deep ball. Derek Carr could do the same, but, he wasn't always consistent when it came to that. So I think if we put a lot of pressure on Derek Carr and do kind of what the Chiefs did to him for so long, force him to throw the ball underneath, this is probably a win for us.
No, absolutely. And you're right. Derek can do a lot of great things, and he is a great quarterback and a record holder for the Raiders. The one thing that he suffered was after his injury, man. He just changed. So, hey, that's something that you pointed out. Said, hey, we need to get that pressure. So, hey, then we go to the last game of the season where we're playing another division opponent, the Los Angeles Chargers at home. This is our last view that we'll get of Jim Harbaugh. And again, another game with playoff implications, I'm sure, at this time. Now I'm not saying the P word that we're going, but I'm just saying there's implications always at the end of the season. All these games are crucial, Doug, especially when we're talking division games. Week 18, we get them at home. Your thoughts?
This could be the win to get in, right? Depending on how the season goes. And the last time we faced the Chargers in that situation, we beat them, right? Because they thought they were going to go for the win, and no, we took the win to get in. And you know what? I kind of hope that's what it comes down to. I hope that it all comes down to this game right here, that we need this win to get in the playoffs, because that's what helps teams learn. And if you can't win that, essentially the what do you got? If let's say there's potentially 4. So if you can't win this, playoff game before the playoff games, then you don't really have a chance to win in the playoffs, the actual playoffs. So games like this, win to get in, can help our team learn how to become winners, and then hopefully help us take the next step to win playoff games, because we already had experiences winning must-win games to get into the playoffs and then keep playing week by week. So I'm hoping that this does come down to that. Our team learns that lesson and then takes that energy and ability into the next season. So hopefully this is a game where we're all clamoring and everybody's talking and everybody's still excited about the team because we have a chance to get in the playoffs. That's what I'm hoping for.
Absolutely, man. And you keep saying some key words back there. Hey, these games are crucial games that can be momentum changers to get into the P word. And these momentum changing games are at the end of the season, Raider Nation. So make sure to be there, be engaged, be supporting the team, and be active. And all right, Raider Nation, after running through our free agent signings and our schedule, we're running a little bit long on this podcast. So make sure that you guys click like, subscribe, and share this pod, because in the next pod, what we're going to do, we're going to go over the draft, contract extensions, and possible signings after June 1st, after we get all that money, baby. So Raider Nation, make sure you share, like, subscribe, and show us that love, baby.
That's right, Raider Nation. First of all, before we end this episode, thank you, Will Blanco, for coming on to this show, man. I appreciate your in-depth view on the plays and as well as the team, dude. I'm looking forward to doing this. So, Raider Nation, make sure you follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, and make sure you subscribe on YouTube. And we're looking forward to having you join the conversation through those outlets. So, stay tuned, Raider Nation, because we're going to be back week to week.
Yes, sir. And as always, it's always about one nation, one team. It's all about the Raiders!